So some of these rules include, by the competition committee, they want to expand the defenseless player protection to kickoff or punt returner who is in possession of the ball, but has also not had the time to avoid or ward off the impending contact of an opponent. They also want to look into preventing teams from manipulating the game clock by committing multiple dead ball fouls while the clock is running, aka they really are sick and tired of Bill Belichick's crap. They want him to stop playing with the rule book.
Well, not only that, but they're tired of his disciples doing it back to him too. Right. Shout out Mike Vrabel. Excuse me, Mike Vrabel.
Thank you. The Mad Lad himself, Mike Vrabel. Philadelphia Eagles have suggested some rules as well. They want to modify the blindside block rule to prevent unnecessary fouls. Big fan of that because I think the current rule is kind of lame. You can barely tap someone, but if you're not going with the play, if you're turning around, going towards the opposite end zone, it's a 15-yard flag no matter what. And that's the dumbest thing. It really is. I really don't like that rule. That's also not the only rule I despise. The Eagles also suggesting making permanent of the expansion of automatic replay reviews to include scoring plays and turnovers negated by a foul, and any successful or unsuccessful try attempt. They also want to provide an alternative to the onside kick that would allow a team who is trailing in the game an opportunity to maintain possession of the ball after scoring. So this would be a 4th and 15 from the kicking team's 25-yard line. This is a rule that has been thrown up in the past. Hasn't really been looked into much. They're going to look into this due to the Eagles whine. This would be looked at. Then they also want to restore preseason and regular season overtime to 15 minutes, and they want to implement rules to minimize the impact over the overtime coin toss. I think that's an interesting one right there. It was confusing why they went from 15 to 10 minutes. I like the extra 5 because, personally, I think we've seen too many ties in a regular season football game. Agree?
I don't agree with that. I like 15 minutes. I don't like ties.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's why I like the extra 5.
Oh, yeah. I actually thought that. I think a lot of these are just going to be thrown out.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, just think about the 4th and 15 rule. If Patrick Mahomes or like Aaron Rodgers, someone like that, I mean, you're just giving them another shot. Like, come on, Eagles, man. Think about it. I don't know why you're so upset right now. I mean, think about if Tom Brady got one more shot against you guys.
Man, they should be really worried about that, especially because guys like Rodgers and Brady, they're in the NFC.
They're in the division now. So it's just a really strange rule to be brought up by the Eagles. But I really like by the competition committee. I really like them wanting to take a look at that manipulating the game clock. I think that's just trash.
Well, you don't like people being able to take advantage of rules that most people don't know about?
Yeah. I just don't think the game should be able to be that broken down, to where it's like literal seconds are going to just be that valuable. It really.
I'm really torn by this because one side, I think like if I was an opposing team, I'd be pretty pissed off that they're able to find this loophole in the rule book. But at the same time, it does impress me when coaches and other players are able to discover these loopholes in the rules that benefit them. Just like, I forget who it was, but there's this Green Bay Packers kick returner a number of years back. He was receiving a kickoff and he was really close to the sideline. And so what he did, it was a tumbling ball. He put his 2 feet out of bounds, then touched the ball while the ball was in bounds. And that made the ball out of bounds technically, so they got a ticket at their 40-yard line. It's little loopholes like that. I think they're genius, to be honest. That's just really high football IQ. But at the same time, I could really understand why people want that kind of stuff out of the game.
Yeah, it's just too much. Like it should just be football.
Just play some foosball, man. What happened to that? There's no thinking, just hit, right?
Absolutely.
If you're thinking during your play, you're doing it wrong. And actually, that's something that you're taught, which is It's actually really true. If you haven't played the game, it sounds stupid, but if you've played the game of football, you know exactly what it means. See, the Miami Dolphins, they also are suggesting the rule of providing the option to the defense for the game clock to start on the referee's signal if the defense declines an offensive penalty that occurs late in either half. It's kind of vague with the occurs late. That could mean the last 5 minutes. Could that just mean the 2 minute warning? That's what I would assume. It would just be for the 2 minute warning. Man, I don't know. It seems that
It's a good
seems a
idea
little
though.
nitpicky.
I like it.
You do?
I think that's a decent idea, but we'll see if the other teams like that.
Hey, what I do like though,
I
two
think
rules I
that's one
yeah
of those rules, dude, where it's really hard. Those on the fence suggestions,
yeah it I don't know. I think
because
going
most
back to your
people are just
point,
going to stick with the status quo.
exactly.
Creatures of
I-
habit.
If it's something that tiny too, they're probably just not even going to put that much time and effort into really
Especially
debating
because,
over it.
yeah, because you don't know. Like each year, it could be different story. One
Mhm.
year that rule change really could benefit you. The next year, if that rule change didn't happen, you might have had 3 or 4 more wins. Who knows?
You mean the pass interference call that you could challenge it? You mean that kind of thing? No, no.
No.
A couple rules I do like though, and some that were suggested by the Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Chargers. They're talking about adding a booth umpire as an eighth game official to the officiating crew, and this is something similar to what the AAF had. Actually, they had the eye in the sky. They had a official in the booth that could call for a replay on any play. And that was one of the few things that I agreed with. And man, I think that'd be a good addition. I don't think there's anything wrong with having an extra set of eyes on the game to call out the mistakes that the on-field refs may be making.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite. The two rules that were the two rule changes that were suggested by the Ravens and the Chargers are probably my favorite out of this whole proposal list. An eighth, more officials. That's just a good look. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
benefit them. It's just going to catch more things that possibly they don't catch, and just another voice of reason in a in a hot crazy situation that might be brewing on the field. And then adding a senior technology advisor to the referee to assist the officiating crew. And
Pretty much
again,
to help the old bums
yeah,
trying to run the game.
yeah, I think there's nothing bad comes from that.
No, also with that one, it takes a little less stress and weight off the shoulders of the refs that are actually trying to call the game. It lets them put more focus into just seeing what they see on the field and not have to worry about any other things besides actually watching the play.
Yeah, I think those should probably go through no problem.
That's healthy.
I
And
hope they go through no problem.
no, I think those two, especially out of all of them, would be the most beneficial.